Hello, I'm Lindsay, Riley, Katie, Austin, you know our faces. We're going to be discussing when I was 1 and 20. I don't know why they don't just say 21.
Well, do you think there's a purpose in saying like 1 and 20 verse? Probably because like it's an older poem.
Yeah,
They just had different ways of saying things.
Yeah. Or one of Lindsay's stupid too deep things. Maybe it's supposed to make them seem younger because of like the emphasis on the one. Like he's a year old and I don't know anything. Or like it's just they talked funny.
Well, then why would he say 2 and 20 if he's like 1 year older, but he's like kind of more wise because he got his heart broken?
That's true. Well, I'm 2 years old. I'm so intelligent and worldly.
Oh my gosh.
So I think it was pretty almost like self-explanatory. You know, don't sell your emotions, don't sell your like do everything but give your heart away, because what you're going to end up getting in return for giving your heart away is like sadness and depression and regret. But at the same time, like, do you always have to go through to learn the lesson that people tell you? Is that what he's trying to say? That you're never going to understand the lesson until you live it out?
I also kind of, a small thing is that he kind of compares the heart to like Pearl's movies, and he's like, give away all these expensive things, but your heart is more valuable than all these like treasures and whatnot.
That's a good one.
Notice that, so.
I concur.
Right?
And
I just think it's interesting, like, his constant reference to, like, paying for something or a currency of some kind, like, an emphasis on the price of something, saying that something sold, something was paid for, you know, something that you received or giving away. Yeah, that, like, there's always, like, a price to every action.
does anybody know what a guineas is?
It's just another form of currency. It's like a type of coin.
Oh, okay.
I think in, like, Spain.
Somewhere over
It's all European currency.
Yeah, crowns, pounds, and guineas.
And I like how he like refers to how foolish he was because of his age. He's like, but I was 1 and 20. There was no use talking to me.
Both the poems and the directions. So after you finish talking, you'll have the second one to talk about. It seems similar. You have a double
We're
poem
recording
prompt to work on together.
Deuces.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, it's
so-
going. Okay.
In talking about like comparing and contrasting what each poem says about the coming of age, I think the first poem we read about the advice you received, the 1 in 20 poem, I feel like it talks more about like the aspect of like romance when you're coming of age and the importance of guarding your heart and how spending your wealth doesn't matter as long as you've kept yourself guarded, you know, like relationally and emotionally. But the second poem,
More
like,
about squandering what you do have and possessions and wealth and everything.
yeah, like it refers to wealth as well, but it's the same advice as to not squander it, but it's talking about squandering your physical wealth, not an emotional wealth. So the consequences of both are alluded to, but I think one is worse than the other. I think one is like lighthearted and sarcastic, while the other one's like, you know, I learned a lesson here. This is what I was told, but I didn't follow through.
And now
it's
I'm
true.
hurt.
Yeah.
As far as, and like the point of views are different as well, because in the first poem,
He was getting the advice.
Yeah.
And then this one he's giving the advice.
to the person. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Miss Bing. Awesome. That was Miss Bing. I mean, you're gonna watch this. Okay. What else? Okay, so also comparing and contrasting. I smell tacos.
Random.
It smells so good.
But I
I'm
do smell
sorry.
it. It
So,
does.
when talking about the coming of age, I think one author emphasizes the importance,
Of emotional health, maybe?
yeah, of like yourself. Like when you come of age, what's important isn't, you know, going out and like. The second author, the Untitled piece, talks about, you know, find all the girls that have names of your fancy, you know, like go out. But the other one, I feel like it's serious. It has more of a serious tone, and it has more of like an important issue and what it talks about. While the other one may be advising a friend to not do things.
And it's kind of satirical and ironic and
Yeah. So I feel like the first one is just emphasizing the importance of like real life things. Yes,
personal.
wealth. Yeah. And like, yes, wealth is an important thing, but at the same time, it's not as important as guarding your heart. So I feel like the focuses are very different, and like the gravity of what they're talking about is very different in their pieces. Obviously, this one's meant to be sarcastic.
And there are also the very obvious similarities as far as like, yes, talking about wealth, yes, talking about being guarded about certain things, and also a lot of the very same words which may have come from like very similar time periods. Like 1 in 20 being said, guineas being said. Sorry, that was like the duh, but hey, it's nice to meet you. Woo!
I found it interesting that, like, in one of the poems, someone grew up and learned the lesson, but in the other one, we don't see that growth. So it's just kind of left, and even like the rhyme pattern, the very last line is left so as to not fit the rhyme pattern, so it carries like an air of incompleteness in the
Which
poem.
bothers me. Yeah.
But it's supposed to be incomplete because we don't know the end of the story. We don't know what the person who receives this poem. We don't know what he does with his wealth.
And perhaps it's supposed to make the reader or the audience or whatever kind of think about their future as well. Make like, oh, am
Supposed to
I?
affect them and make them think about their lives.
Yeah.
We're all like,
Second guess.
A joking
what's
haphazard
going
warning
on.
for that.
don't
Good job,
screw
Izzy.
yourself over.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Just stop it.
Where's the